Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the unrest in the Balkan region of Europe upon the dissolution of the former Yugoslavia in the 1990s led to a wave of refugees settling in Australia. Many members of these communities have come to call Liverpool home. My electorate is home to many Australians of Serbian, Bosnian, Croatian, Montenegrin, Macedonian and Slovenian descent. These communities have enriched Liverpool and contributed immensely to its fabric. As we celebrate and mark Refugee Week this week, I stand here to share a message on behalf of Liverpool's Bosnian community, who've asked me to speak on their behalf in this place. The 11th of July 2024 will mark the 29th anniversary of the Srebrenica massacre in 1995. Each year, the Australian Bosnian Herzegovinian Cultural Association holds a remembrance event to remember this tragedy, where over 8,000 people were killed. It is ordinarily a time of deep reflection for them, but this year it takes a deeper meaning. This year, the community will come together on the first official International Day of Reflection and commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica, after the UN General Assembly officially designated July the 11th as such. The tragic events in Srebrenica were in many ways one of the darkest chapters of the war that erupted after the breakup of the former Yugoslavia. In July 1995, Srebrenica, previously declared a safe area by the UN Security Council, was overrun and 8,000 people were killed, and it resulted in the expulsion of over 20,000 people from the town. This event has been recognised as an act of genocide by the International Court of Justice, as well as the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. Almost 30 years afterwards, there still remain victims who have not been found or identified. The motion brought to the United Nations emphasises the need to identify these victims and afford them a dignified burial. The motion of recognition at the United Nations General Assembly was designated to honour victims and supporting survivors, many of whom continue to bear the scars of that awful time. I note the comments of the UN Special Advisor, who said, "The adoption of this resolution constitutes an important milestone to honour and pay tribute to the victims of Srebrenica, to the survivors and to their families." I know for many in the Bosnian community in Liverpool, they were especially encouraged to see the Australian government vote in favour of this resolution. The Bosnian community will continue to honour the victims every year and on this now officially designated date. The motion is also about reaffirming the world's strong opposition to impunity for genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, or other violation of humanitarian law. It is incumbent on states everywhere to end these atrocities when they see them and seek sustainable peace, justice, truth, and reconciliation. It is crucially important today that we continue to remain vigilant regarding genocide around the world and that Australia call out violations of humanitarian law when they occur. You don't have to look much further than Liverpool to see reconciliation in effect. As I mentioned earlier, Liverpool is proudly home to many Bosnians, Serbians, Croatians, Montenegrins, Macedonians, and Slovenians. Despite the conflict between their nations of origin, there is a strong sense of camaraderie and friendship between all members of these communities as they navigate life in Australia. We value multiculturalism in this state and across our country. It is tempting to limit our appreciation of multiculturalism to our exposure to an amazing array of diverse foods, celebration of festivals, and having fun. But this is the easy part. Social cohesion is a precious and sometimes fragile thing, as events of this year have shown. The only path to genuine social cohesion is by walking in the shoes of others with curiosity and empathy, as it comes from consciously seeking to understand and bridge our differences. As we approach the 30th anniversary of the events in Srebrenica, I know that members of the Bosnian community in my electorate would ask this place to reflect and to remember, so that we all may learn from the lessons of our past to avoid these things in the future.
Mm-hmm.